Parties on both sides of the aisle had a special interest in South Texas this election season, especially when it came to the so-called triple threat. That refers to the three GOP Latina candidates in three different races for congressional seats. Joining us this afternoon to give us some insight is Border Report's Sandra Sanchez. Sandra, always very nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start with what the outcome was for these three candidates known as the triple threat.
Well, they didn't prove to be quite the threat that everyone expected. One of the three, Monica de la Cruz, representing Congressional District 15, which includes McAllen, where I am, she did win over Democratic progressive Michelle Vallejo, and she is headed to Congress. But the other two lost their races, and that included Mayra Flores, who actually is a sitting congresswoman for Congressional District 34. That's the Gulf Coast. It includes the city of Brownsville. She won a special election in June, and she touted that she was going to keep that seat red, but she faced the incumbent who represented 15, and I know it's a little confusing, but redistricting played into all of this, and so Congressman Vicente Gonzalez's house was moved to 34, so he moved to run against Mayra Flores in that race, and he beat her. On further west in Laredo, that's Congressional District 28, longtime Democratic incumbent Henry Cuellar did hold off a challenge from political newcomer Cassie Garcia. She used to work for Senator Ted Cruz, and she did not poll very well there. He beat her fairly easy.
And Sandra, as we're going through all these results, we're understanding that some groups there in South Texas are claiming that GOP redistricting actually weakened the Hispanic vote in that area. What have you found out about that?
About 10 organizations filed a lawsuit when the Texas legislature redistricted, recarved out this area, and they allege that they diluted the Hispanic vote. We did see a big shift in numbers. The District 15 prior the previous election, Vicente Gonzalez and Monica de la Cruz at that time, both of them got well over 100,000 votes. This time the voting was down in the 70,000s and the 80,000s. The population was divided, and the LULAC, which is the League of United Latin American Citizens, as well as the Southwest Voter Education Project, were among those that filed the lawsuit saying that they have diluted the Hispanic vote. Some numbers said from 21, the vote went from 21% Anglo to 23% Anglo by adding some of these northern ranching counties. And we did see that Monica de la Cruz, who is Hispanic, did very well in some of these northern counties like Live Oak, and Wilson outside of San Antonio.
And at this hour, we are still waiting to find out which party will control both the U.S. Senate and the House. But Governor Greg Abbott has already made a promise surrounding Operation Lone Star and security down there at the border. What did the governor say about that?
Right. Well, your Monica Madden broke the story earlier this week when the governor told her that he would ratchet back Operation Lone Star if Republicans take control of the House and if they make immigration reform. You know, for 2 years now, he's said that the Biden administration has not, well, about a year and a half, he said that the Biden administration has not done what the job that the federal government needs to do to secure the border. So now he's saying he's going to ease up on that a little bit. Of course, as we know, there are several seats that have still not been decided. It does look like the Republicans have picked up more seats so far, 3-1 to the Democrats. So whoever gets to 218 will be in control. One other note that is important for us down here in South Texas: Henry Cuellar is vice chairman of the House Homeland Security Appropriations Committee, and he's in line to chair that committee. But if the House becomes Republican-led, he will be the ranking member and he will not be the chairman, which would be a very powerful position for him.
So much to track there, but we always appreciate you being with us. Sandra Sanchez with Border Report. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.